I wanted to come on and we unpack a few things from the first 3 days. I am your host, Damaris, Coach Dama in the group. Hello, guys. Those who are active in the challenge, I appreciate you. I see you. I know that it is not always easy, especially if you have not done some of the work. I appreciate you for joining the group. 1, 2, I appreciate those who are doing the challenge with me and those who have gotten in contact with me on WhatsApp as well. Bona, I'm full of love from all of that. So I didn't get any questions about the challenge as yet. I hope that it will be coming. We're still new here, so we will get there. But day 1, we did the setting of our intentions, and I explained, hey Poppy, thank you so much for joining. I had I explained in the okay, let's try again. If I don't say hello when you come in, it's because when I do that, I lose my train of thought, right? So I'm gonna try not to distract myself so that I can stay on topic and we can make this at least 15 to 20 minutes. So if you do have questions though, drop them in the comments. I will come back to them. I'm just setting the scene of what we're going to talk about, right? So, but day 1, we did our intention settings, and in that time, I can imagine if you do not do your intention settings regularly, it can become quite scary for various reasons. Sometimes when I'm struggling with that, or in the past when I used to struggle with my intentions, it would be because I don't know if the things that I'm putting down are going to be possible, if I have the capacity to do it. And when that happens, one needs to notice the talk that's in their heads as to what is happening. What is the challenge? A lot of the times you will say, it's because I know what I'm going to do, right? But then after a few days or after a few months, when you realize that you always have these ideas, but then nothing gets done, or you forget about them, that's probably because your intention setting, you do not do it in a way that is supportive to you. So if you have not done that, that's fine. We can carry on, but just keep that in mind as you're carrying on with the challenge, right? So then day 2, we had a mindfulness practice that we needed to start, and I wanted to share a little bit of a story. Some years ago when I started doing this intended morning routine, I remember I was trying to figure out a new way of being. I had been working from home for quite a few years, but I used to have to go out to the office even though I was working from home most of the time. So those times I had young kids, so you have to wake up and make them food and whatnot. Now my kids are older, so I don't need to do that. So even when I'm working from home, it does not mean that I need to physically be doing things for them. So I kind of have my mornings back. And I remember I took a call, right? I took a call from somebody I really love talking to. And I took the call and then we talked a bit, I think for about 20, maybe 30 minutes. Hey man, after the call, I just couldn't settle down. What's happened? And then I started my journaling, and then it dawned on me a few days later when I was now back in my routine that, hey man, I'm no longer that person who can just take calls in jail willy-nilly. So I either communicated to those who call me frequently, I communicate that we don't do morning calls, or I ignore the call, right? Which is something that's not very easy for me to ignore calls. So that showed me that my mornings need to ground me. So even if I can't maybe meditate, because I know when people talk about grounding in the morning, they're thinking, oh, meditation. Not everybody can meditate. Some people struggle with that. In terms of being still, and we'll talk about that for day. Let's mix it in. For day 3, we spoke about meditation, right? If that is part of what you want want to create as your morning routine, but you're struggling with that, it's not the only thing that can ground you. Some people pray, some people just journal, start writing. That is a way of also meditating. Meditating is not just sitting still and going, it can be done in many ways. And if it is that what you want to do, you can also look into guided meditations that can be very helpful for people who are struggling with sitting down and meditating and just having their minds go all over the place. However, having said that, I mentioned, I think it's in the post for day 3, that remember that meditation, the aim of meditation, I actually learned this from a meditation course I was doing. The aim of meditation is not necessarily to empty your mind. That's not the goal. So when we say I can't meditate, it's because we are looking at ourselves, and because your mind wanders, you're thinking, oh, I'm not meditating right. But no, the aim of meditation is just to create that awareness. So when you are aware that your mind has wandered off whatever, all you need to do is to come back in that moment. So you come back to one central point, and usually it would be the breath, right? So you just come back to the breath, and then you start breathing again. Does that mean that your mind will not wander again for the second time? No, it doesn't. So it wanders off again with gentleness. You bring yourself back to that point. When I found that, I was relieved. I was liberated from the need to be this guru who sits there for 10 hours and going because I'm thinking, oh my God, if I can't do that, that means I'm not benefiting. The benefit of meditation is not that you can completely clear your mind, because if we go into meditation with only that as our goal, then a lot of us are never going to do it. Right? Because we actually embark on the journey of meditation in order to quieten ourselves, isn't it? So now you're sitting here, first day, and then you're trying to meditate, and your mind wanders off, and you're thinking, okay, I'm doing it all wrong. So I failed, we say, I failed at meditation. So when are you ever going to build the habit? Right? So just be very, very gentle with yourself, the same way that you would be. When do we start thinking that children are no longer cute? When they're struggling, I think around 2 years. So just think of a baby before they are 2, maybe before they're a toddler, when you're still responding to them in that natural and very nurturing way. And oh my God, oh no, baby. All right, okay, well, I was that kind of mom, right? Baby language and stuff. Oh, baby, when the baby's crying, you go and pick it up. So you do that for yourself, even when you are struggling with meditation. And this is not just for meditation. This whole 21-day program is going to challenge a lot of the things that we do and the way in which we do them. So when we find ourselves wanting to throw our hands in the air and say, nope, this is not for me, just come back. Remember this story that I told you about meditation and how it is not about affecting anything. So you just come back to the breath. Okay, it's another 3 seconds. I've gone off again. Cool. Come back. Eventually, you'll be there for 10 seconds instead of 3, right? And then you're going to be so calm. So my hope for you is that you are going to celebrate every tiny step. I created this program because I, for one, struggle with celebrating tiny steps. Sometimes I tend to wait for the big things, and then I miss out on the small things. So the other day I was talking to somebody, and they had a beautiful meeting that they were really, really dreading. And when they came back, they said the meeting went well, so now we need to. I'm like, no, we don't do that, right? We're going to take time to celebrate the fact that you did the work, to work on the fears, to work on the visibility issues, and you went there and you delivered. So can we take a moment to celebrate that? And as I do that, that's the beauty of this coaching work. As we do that, it's a reminder to the self. So I'm doing this challenge with you guys. right? Because it's also helping me stay on track with my own goals. So I do hope you're enjoying it. If you do have any questions, please drop them in the comments, and let's hear how your first 3 days of the challenge has been going. And if you gave up on day 1, tell us why you gave up on day 1. If today feels a little bit, why did I even sign up? Just remember that this can happen as well. It's not the middle of the program yet, but it can happen that we get a bit of a slump, and then we tell ourselves that, nah, maybe I made a mistake. So just notice that. The reason, this is why we did the intentions, right? So if you did the intentions, you can go back to that as to why did I even bother. I mean, you didn't have to, but you came and you said, I'm gonna do it. So why did you say yes? So if you can remember that, hopefully that will bring you back into track, right? If you're watching and you have a question, please do not hesitate to ask the question in the comments of this video. I definitely will be coming back and answering some of the questions. And if it's something that may need me to come on live, I'll do that. I actually love video because, you know, it's talking. Hey, talking is easy, man. Well, for me at least. So if you are watching the replay, please just leave hashtag replay and let us know how your challenge is going. What are you finding easy? What are you finding difficult? I'm so glad that I see some activity in the group. Please keep it up and let us continue with our self-mastery goals. And that is all. I will bid you good evening, and thank you once again. Thank you.